Hey, Warren Eckstein here. Today we're going to take a look at calming signals your dog or your cat may actually give you when they're stressed out. But first, think about this. These are some examples of calming signals that we as humans do. For example, lots of people when they get anxious will do lip smacking or chewing, looking away. If you're not into the conversation, you're not feeling comfortable, or the conversation is getting a little stressful, a lot of people will look away. Picking at their nails or their hair. That's also a sign of trying to calm things down. Fiddling with objects, also a sign. Stretching. If you've been in a meeting, things are getting tough and you stretch, or pacing or scratching. That's all indications of calming signals when a human is showing you that something is stressing them out. But what about our pets? That's an entirely different ballgame. From an article I recently read, it was a great article, and I'll share it with you on the show. Calming signals in dogs consist of a vast array of behaviors that are carried out by dogs with the intent to reduce tension and therefore pacify a potentially tense situation. So your dog is actually trying to calm things down. So let me read that again. Calming signals in dogs consist of a vast array of behaviors that are carried out by dogs with the intent to reduce tension and therefore pacify a potentially tense situation. Dogs are trying to resolve the tense situation. It's the guardian that pushes it too far. Unable to talk, dogs really rely on their body language. So when communicating with your dog or when they're trying to calm things down, you really need to understand what your dog's body language is all about, which I'll go over in just a second. And by displaying calming signals, dogs can actually get out of a situation by just showing the other dog or the person, and sometimes the person, that they're trying to calm things down. That's enough to resolve the situation and can resolve a potentially bad fight. So what are some of the calming signals that your dog will show you? First of all, you heard me talk about lip licking. Well, dogs do that too. So a lot of people, they do this when they get nervous. Well, dogs can do that when they're trying to calm things down as well. Also, facial expressions. That's why I always tell people, look at your dog, look at your cat, take some photos of them, know what normal facial expression looks like. Therefore, if something changes, you can react. The position of your dog's ears. You can tell if the dog's ears go back or go up. That all means different things. Very often, they're trying to calm things down so the ears will be straightforward in a normal position. This is one, a lot of people think that dogs yawn, and they do. Sometimes when I yawn, my dog will yawn alongside of me. But yawning is also indicative of a dog trying to calm things down in a tense situation. So if you notice your dog yawning excessively in a situation, he's trying to calm things down. And the raising of the paw. The raising of the paw is a couple of different things. Number one, it's a sign of I want to be in charge, but it's also a comfort sign by putting their paw over them. That's what their mom did. So it's a comfort sign. If you notice your dog's coming over to you and he's kind of pawing at you and putting his paw over you, he's also trying to calm the situation down. Now, here's something you would normally know. Whale eyes. You ever hear the term whale eyes? Normally, we can't see the white of our dog's eyes. If you see the white of your dog's eyes, she's probably uncomfortable. How many people would know that? Normally you can see the white. You can see the whole white. You can't see it unless the dog is reacting to some type of situation that's really tense. So if you're seeing all the white in your dog's eyes, it's probably something going on. Here are other things. Shake off. You ever notice your dog gets nervous and he starts to shake? That's a way to calm things down. Dandruff. When a dog's anxious, dandruff will come up. Sweaty paws will start happening. They'll look away. They'll start scratching, tail position. In other words, the bottom line is this. Dogs let us know what's going on inside of them, how they feel. The problem is we, as human beings, don't always pick up on what they're letting us know. So the bottom line is this. If you have a dog, and it's so important, and one of the things I advocate is the importance of really watching your pets. I get calls all the time, well, my dog did this, and my dog did that, or my cat did this, and my cat did that. And I said, is that normal behavior for your dog or cat? And the people really say, well, I'm not sure. He does it occasionally. That's why it's so important to understand your pet's normal behavior so you can notice if there's any changes. So it's really important to understand that dogs that get nervous sometimes will appear aggressive and may even react. But the bottom line is that usually if a dog is feeling uncomfortable, they will let you know. I'll give you a prime example. People always think of the growling dog as the killer dog, the Cujo of the world. The dog growled at me. Urgh. What does a growl really mean? Well, a growl, in many cases, is letting you know, or another dog know, that that dog is not comfortable at the moment. And he's giving you a warning. He's letting you know what, I'm not real comfortable. Why don't you just leave me alone for a couple of minutes? So the growl is actually a favor for many dogs saying, you know what, Leave me alone and everything's going to be okay. If you don't leave me alone, I'm going to have to get more aggressive. So those are things you need to understand. So it's really, really critical. And living in the world we live in nowadays, and especially with the pandemic, uh, they're spending a whole lot of time with us. And let me tell you, it's not easy spending a lot of time with human beings. So be aware. Be aware of your dog's body language. Be aware of your dog's mood. I think that's one of the most important things I've learned in my over 41, 50 years, whatever number of years I've been doing this, is watch your dog carefully. I'm an observer. Any good behaviorist, any good trainer is an observer. If you observe the dog, if you observe the cat, you understand a lot more about their behavior. So again, those are just some of the signs that a dog may put up if they're trying to calm things down. But in reality, life should be so good that they don't have to calm things down. But it's important for you to understand. And all joking aside, uh, when you notice a dog that's kind of yawning, raising the paw, shaking off, the dander's coming up, all the things I talked about, that's an indication that the dog's not feeling right. So take that into consideration. And very often, this can easily be resolved. I mean, very often, the dog that's displaying this type of behavior is displaying this type of behavior because of the lack of consistency. So for those people that are consistent with their dogs and live in a family where everyone's consistent, what often happens is they don't run into that snare because the dog knows exactly what to expect. And that's important. If the dog knows what to expect, that's critical. And that's why socialization is so critical. Lots more coming up on the Pet Show. If you have any questions or comments about your dog, or maybe you feel that your dog is behaving in a certain way and you're not sure how to react to it, that's what the show is all about. Remember, the Pet Show is about helping you cope with your pets and a lot more likely helping your pets cope with you. Talk to you on the Pet Show.